Durie to Laudrup. That's good running by Laudrup, a chance here for Rangers. That's the offer.
As soon as he plays it, you can see Laudrup. The run, you know, the way he managed to break through and then just play it across the goalkeeper. It was so intelligent. Gilles Rousset, I think, thought he was going to go on the near post. And of course, he goes across the goalkeeper, which makes it even more difficult. And it was just absolutely classic Laudrup. And of course, at that moment, the nerves evaporate.
It's not the first time I've seen him finish like that, but just incredible. Ball through, one-touch finish into the opposite corner was a great way to start.
Just before half-time, Gascoigne, I think, perhaps enlivened by the fact that Rangers had gone ahead in the game, had become more adventurous. He was seeing more of the ball, and he produced one of these terrific trademark runs towards the penalty area. He'd taken the ball past Paul Ritchie. Ritchie took him down quite crudely. I mean, nowadays the red card would be immediate. I'm astonished it wasn't produced in that cup final. I think Ritchie was a very lucky man that he didn't see red at that point. A free kick was given, only a yellow card. So had Hearts gone down to 10 at that point, it might even have been worse.
At half-time, it's Hearts 0, Rangers 1. Well, the second half of the 10th Scottish Cup final starts with the Rangers in possession. They'll be looking to continue where they left off.
So early in the second half, Rangers come out, they're totally buoyed by the fact that they're ahead in the game. And I don't think they wanted to waste any time in trying to get this cup sewn up. They were on the front foot right away in the early moments of the second half. Laudrup seeing a lot of the ball again. But then, my goodness, the second goal, an absolute disaster for Gilles Rousset.
Durie's pass off with Laudrup on again, followed by McManus. Severe test for young McManus this, looking after Laudrup. Who would believe it? It's a second for Laudrup.
I think everybody in the stadium expected Rousset to stop, and of course it goes under him, and you can just see him sitting there on his knees thinking, oh no. You don't need to be giving Rangers and Brian Laudrup any extra help when it comes to scoring goals, but you don't shoot, you don't score, and that was a perfect example of that one.
As good as everything was that day in terms of winning by that margin, everybody playing so well, it just shows that you still sometimes can do with a little bit of fortune. I think it's an absolute howler, to be fair, but Laudrup does that sort of trademark. It feels like he's got about 5 trademark things that he does, but that trademark turning the centre half, I think it was Alan McManus potentially, inside out on the touchline several times. I kind of don't blame the goalkeeper because he's never sure whether Laudrup's going to curl that in with his right foot or whether he's going to turn and put it in with his left foot. As it transpires, it was kind of like a bit of a cross-come shot, and he probably just caught him by surprise. Bounces at the wrong time as well, and goes through his legs. It's a comical goal, but for Rangers it comes at a perfect time because then they can just sit back to an extent, soak up pressure, and hit Hearts on the break.
Goes back with him, played it out at this time, but that was a beauty.
The ball got played into me, and I played it with the outside my foot wide left to Lauders, and then I got myself into the box, and you know when Lauders has got the ball 9 times out of 10 he'll pick you out and whatever, and I managed to get across the defender and volleyed it in, so it was a great feeling.
He was brilliant that day, Gordon Durie. I just remember thinking it was a total vintage performance from him. He was a brilliant foil for Laudrup, and again, he's such a prolific goal scorer. He had such a good shot on him, and perfect shot, clinical, into the goal, and he was up and running for the afternoon. So yeah, I mean, absolutely brilliant by Gordon Durie.
Rangers were in such control of the match, it looked as if there was no way back for Hearts at all. And then out of the blue, John Cahoon got himself in a good position just outside the penalty area. There were quite a number of defenders in front of him, and I think that perhaps caught out Andy Gorham. He hit it quickly, and it sneaked into the left side of the net.
At 3-1, you still feel relatively confident. You know, obviously if it goes 3-2, again it's cookie bum time and the momentum might shift and all of a sudden supporters become anxious and all that kind of stuff. But at 3-1, it felt like a consolation, you know, and that's what it was.
Here's McCall. Robertson towards Laudrup, who's on against McManus, he's still on his feet. And this is Durie, shooting the fourth. It looks so easy.
If I was in Laudrup' position, I wouldn't have been passing that ball, because he was on 2 goals at the time as well, and he was through and going at, and Brian just laid me in and whatever, and I laid the goalie down on his backside and whatever, and managed to put it in. But I guarantee if that was McCoist that was on the other side, he wouldn't have been passing it to me.
Laudrup's strength, again, this is another element of his play that I think was really undervalued. His play in the build-up to the 4th goal, where he holds off the Hearts defender, sort of stumbles to get back onto his feet and then play through, and he just plays the ball into Durie, and it actually looks like he's going to mess it up, doesn't it? He's sort of stumbling forward, but then he just dinks it into the net, makes it 4, and that's him getting 2nd of the day.
At this point, I think Hearts are a bit ragged. You know, they're a bit all over the place. They're obviously maybe trying to push up and try and get something out of the game.
And here's Laudrup. Durie's inside, looking for his hat-trick. Measured for Durie. 5-1 to Rangers. Laudrup the provider, Durie the finisher. Lights up, Rangers manager.
When you look at it in context of the history of Scottish football, to score a hat-trick in a Scottish Cup final is unheard of. I mean, it's so rare. And it only happened 3 times before in the previous 110 finals, which shows you how remarkable it is. And it only happened once since the Second World War. It's such a great statistic, it's such a remarkable achievement that Gordon Durie is a part of Scottish football history and folklore.
That was Laudrup at his peak, and I think that game probably encapsulates everything that he offered to Rangers, whether it was the goal scoring, whether it was the movement, whether it was the assists, just a genius on the ball. Everything about his game that day was pretty much flawless, and the Rangers fans loved him anyway. But I think if you put together an all-round game, an all-round performance, that cup final, and it ends with a piece of silverware, it doesn't really get much better than that. I think it really did solidify Laudrup for what he was here, and also just showcase every single element that he brought to this Rangers team.
I thought that day Durie gave a masterclass in terms of being a striker. You know, again, overshadowed by Laudrup, unfortunately for him in many ways, but Durie led the line, although they were playing without an out-and-out centre-forward that day. Laudrup was on the right and Durie was playing on the left, but they were, you know, both of them combined well and mixed well. But again, Durie gave that demonstration of power, aggression. He was giving Hearts defenders a hell of a time, and he showed all his skills that day. Durie, he was strong running, and he obviously was clinical when it came to scoring his 3 goals.
Out with the night that we got 9 in a row, which was iconic. It was certainly the highlight of my career. As I said earlier on, growing up as a Rangers supporter, being in the stands watching Rangers players for years back, and actually being on the pitch and doing it was just, you can never take it away from me, can you?
It feels kind of cruel for Gordon Durie in that respect. You know, it should be his day. He scored the hat-trick in the cup final. Any other player that I know who scored the hat-trick in a cup final, it's their cup final. Everyone remembers them as it's their cup final, but no one thinks of that cup final and thinks of Gordon Durie first. They think of Brian Laudrup first, because he was just another level. As I said, his performance on the day was superb.
All the boys keep reminding me, and the punters and that, just the only guy to ever score a hat-trick in a cup final and not get man of the match. But to be fair, he was sensational that day. He set my 3 up, I set his 2 up. It was just one of the days that everything clicked for the 2 of us. But yeah, it's a bit strange to score a hat-trick in a cup final, and it's called the Laudrup final.